I think that another way that we cultivate humility as pastors is by not just tolerating good faith critique, but inviting it. This has been one of the most helpful things for me so far in ministry. Every Tuesday, we have 2 back-to-back meetings, service review and sermon preview. And at this stage in the life of our church, it's open to all members. So there are brothers, sisters there. It's not filled with just staff folks. And in service review, we swing around the table and people give feedback on every element of the Sunday service. And what we're trying to do there, which I learned and saw modeled by Mark Dever, is I'm trying to foster a culture where we do 4 things well. We give and receive godly encouragement and critique. That's 4 things. Different people will find it easier or harder to give encouragement, to receive encouragement, to give critique, to receive critique. I want it to feel like a safe thing for people to critique my sermons. Now, surely there are listeners who are thinking, well, that sounds like a recipe for disaster. You're just young and naive. And I want to confess, maybe I am. But I also think that maybe one of the reasons that people begin to operate in bad faith and kind of come at you with the bazooka is because you haven't provided any natural formal channels for them to come to you with good faith critique. So I try to show that I welcome people speaking into the ministry of the word and helping me grow as a pastor.
That's good. Early on when I was at First Pres, I received a critical letter from actually a fellow professor of mine at the seminary who had put my name in at the church to be the pastor. And it was really it was really hard to read. It was really hurtful. I had to put it away for a long time. Going back and looking at that letter 10 years later, everything he said was right. But it took it a long time. It was so personal. It was, it was so sensitive. It was really hard for me to take in all the things. That was wounds of a friend. I mean, he was really a father in the faith. He's much older than me, much more experienced. And the things that he said, they were all things I was doing as a young, inexperienced minister. Right. And he was right about everything he said. But part of it is the Lord just getting your heart in a place where you can take those kinds of things. Mm-hmm. And the Lord has been kind to give me people in my life that can put those sorts of things out there and then just let them sit as long as they need to sit, and I can then respond to them. I had a situation many years ago where my youth staff had done some things that they shouldn't have done, and I fired off an email to them, and that's never a good thing. That's never going to go well, and it didn't.
Sleep on it, run it by others.
It hurt. It hurt their feelings unnecessarily. It didn't accomplish what I wanted it to accomplish. And the elder that was in charge of the youth ministry calls me up in the afternoon. He says, "Hey, can I pop by and see you, Luke?" I knew exactly why he was coming by, and so my attitude was like this. I was real defensive. He came by, really low key, wise. Lig, I think maybe there was a better way to handle that. I was still kind of in this mode. He walked out of the inn, and he didn't demand that I do something about it right then. He didn't demand that I change my mind. He just let it sit, and he walked out of the office. And by the time he had stepped out the door, I knew he was right, but I wasn't ready to admit it yet. And I did sleep on it that night. And the next morning I woke up and I realized he was exactly right about everything he said. And I went to the youth staff meeting that day and just had to eat crow because I blew it. I was right about my concern with what they had done. I was wrong about the way I had delivered it. And that elder loved me well enough to come and tell me before that thing festered for several days or weeks. And then I had a real problem on my hand. And because he did that, I was able to go down and say, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done it that way. I was concerned about this. Can we do this differently next time? This is about treating other people well." We were able to process that together, and it didn't become some big thing between me and other people on the church staff. And it's because that elder was willing to come and say, "You blew it, Lig."
And that's a key point. You have to have people around you who feel safe critiquing you
Yeah.
and calling out your sin.
Yeah.
If you don't have anyone around you who feels like they can do it and get away with it and survive it, then despite what you profess, you do not have a plurality. You have your own little kingdom. And so that's something we all need to be reminded of. And we need to deliberately put people around us and deputize them to feel like they can have that kind of hunting license to come after us and speak into our lives.